recording link later on. Please. All right, friends, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining in. And I'm so sorry for delay in starting this session. I'm sure you're able to see me and see the slides on the screen. Just checking if you're logging in from YouTube or from Zoom. Just checking if you're able to hear me and also see the slides. Put in the chat box why in case you are, so that we'll begin in a few seconds from now. We had some issues with the internet. I'm so sorry for. All right, I see some of you are confirming loud and clear. All right, perfect. So thank you so much for joining in this yet another learning session that we do every Saturday. Saturday is a learning day for us. Every Saturday, this is happening since last 3 years. So thank you so much for being with us for the last 3 years and learning with us so much. So today's speaker is Dr. Amandeep Singh. Dr. Amandeep is a proud pharmacist, and he is one pharmacist who has done all the degrees of pharmacy: D Pharm, B Pharm, M Pharm, and PhD. Okay, and he's smiling on the screen, so you can see that. So he has done all the degrees, and he's really a proud pharmacist. And right now, he is an associate professor in the Department of Pharmaceutics at ISF College of Pharmacy, Moga, Punjab. He has a PhD in pharmaceutics and specializes in nanotechnology-based drug delivery systems. So he is working on nanotechnology. He has published over 55 plus research articles in international and national journals, and he has also published 2 textbooks and more than 8 textbook chapters. He is a lifetime member of International Society of Lyophilization, Freeze Drying USA, and is the chairman of the protocol committee in the Indian Pharmacist Association. So please keep yourself muted. I'll give you an option to talk later on. All right. Okay. Perfect. So he is a course coordinator of diet and nutrition. It's an online certification course that he has been running for quite some time. He has participated and presented in a lot of webinars and sessions like this. He also has 6 design patents. So congratulations, Dr. Aman, for that. You also have a process patent, okay, and 10 copyrights registered with Government of India. So wow, that's great, right? Congratulations on that. So I'll welcome Dr. Aman to take over the session from here on. Please tell us your story, how you got into pharmacy. 90% of us get into pharmacy by chance, not by choice. So was this your chance or choice? So let us tell us about that, and also tell us how you got into scientific writing and how scientific writing has changed your life. So welcome, Dr. Aman. Thank you so much for agreeing to be part of this session. And we are all eagerly waiting to hear from you from here on.
Okay, first of all, yes, sir. First of all, good afternoon to all. Dear dignitaries from the pharmacy profession, and from my core of heart, I would like to thanks to Manoj sir for their noble cause. I think I met with sir from last 2 years, and sir is doing very great by inviting the experts of their concerned topic. It's very difficult task, even though you may continue your schedule every week. It's one of the her big achievement. I must salute to you for
Thank you.
your concern, the contribution for you for the students for pharmacy, not in national levels, but also I have seen your profile. I think more than 50% of international participant, we may say that one of their might be professors, they are industrialists, they are researchers, they are visiting you on a daily basis. They are also doing your videos. I'm happy to share that, happy to be attached or part of this webinar. So let's proceed with today's talk.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, my PPT is visible?
Not yet, sir. So participants, please make a lot of notes, and you may ask your questions at the end of the session after the presentation. We'll take as much questions as possible. Yeah, the PPT is visible. Please make it full screen, sir. Yeah, perfect. Go on.
Okay. So dear all, my talk will be concerned or related nearby to the scientific writing. Before proceeding further, I will discuss about myself. In 2009, I got an admission in ISM pharmacy. At that time, I have no idea about what PhD is basically, what research is, what scientific writing is. But only one thing is was in my mind: have to do something in medical field. Even though at that time we are not able to identify the difference between MBBS or doctor obtained from the PhD. So at that time, I have only much interest in that. We can say that pharmacy. So I have consulted with someone from one of my relatives. He advised me to take admission in diploma. When I asked him why diploma, and he told that you'll be able to got the better concepts in diploma as compared to beginnings of the degree. Then I have got my diploma. After that, my interest has been gradually increased. Then I take admission in B Pharma. And after B Pharma, I observed that I think so. I contact 2 to 3 companies regarding job. They are providing only 6 to 7,000. Then I think that Aman, you have to do something new, or you may study. I have discussed with my father, and he told me that yes, it's up to you. If you want to continue study for the masters, choose your career wisely. You may discuss with your we can say seniors. Then I consulted with my seniors, and he recommended that yes, Aman, you have a GPAT also. So in this platform, I would like to share that I am 2 time GPAT qualified. So at thank you, sir. So after that, I got admission in masters, and I after admission of masters, I joined the Asha Biotech company in Panchkula. That is a localized bed company, not a one of the big MNC kind. And then I observed that again something is lack, something is not as per my choice, because from the beginning, teaching is one of the good thing I as per my concern. Then I try to find out the things, discuss with the various persons. You may proceed for PhD for the better things. Then I published one first my review article in MPharm. After that, in during my PhD, so here all I have published more than 35 review and research articles, and including 2 to 3 books, 7 to 8 design patent. Even though last week I have already filed 4 to 5 design patent and 6 to 7 copyrights. So this kind of things are going on now. Recently, I was invited by one of the we can say that a channel of Delhi-based news channel, in which we have discussed about the various pharma concerns and what type of opportunities are there. So this was the my story in very we can say that in short words. So as per our today's topic, before proceeding for a slide, in your scientific writing, basically, what do you learn? What you can provide a new to the reviewers? For example, things are already published in a different way. How you can easily present your content in a different way. Now, next question will be: you may ask that, sir, what will be the benefit? For example, I have published the article. Who will be the, we can say that person who have a benefit from this particular manuscript? Actually, the beginners who are trying to do their research, for example, in case of masters, in case of PhD, this kind of manuscript play an important role. So, in our today's talk, these things will be covered by me. Basics of structure search, start paper, conduct, organize, as well as formulate, and what type of sections are there, how you will choose your audience target based draft, and what are the various journals. I might be also add some more things which I have not mentioned in this first page. I will add and try my best. So scientific writing step-by-step guide in which we will able to learn what kind of things are there, how it will be proceeded accordingly, and how they are beneficial for the. Before proceeding for any kind of research, we must know that how we can start conducting a research. So we have two basic software, Google Scholar and Formulate. As per my experience, Google Scholar utilization is much easier as compared to the PubMed. So that's why I have taken a recent screenshot of Google Scholar. For example, any person who want to search or conduct a survey of any topic, you have to put your topics in that site. First of all, open the Google, find the Google Scholar. Now place your topic of interest which you would like to be, we can say that search here. For example, I have searched about probiotics for cancer. So you may observe that so many papers are there which show that how probiotics are useful or manifest for the various concern. Next, first is the basic research. Second is you can also customize your search by doing year-wise range. I have used icon. You may observe that. For example, I have selected for 2015 to 2023. Now the software will only show the papers who are published between these tenure. One more thing, I have marked it as a by use of starch. Now, for example, you want to review about the only literature which I consult with the review. You may search, you may select the review articles only. In case you want all type of manuscript, including research articles, including review, including editorial, including editor, you may select the N type. In second portion, you may observe one more thing is there, include or exclude patents. So dear all, I think you may all are aware about it. Patents are taken by the basic persons or their proprietorship basic who have conducted their research. So they all are published online. If you want to access or to identify the things, you may conduct. Now, search of expert profile. For example, you may know someone by name. For example, I have find out my self on Google Scholar, put my name, Dr. Amandeep Singh, and you will able to find their profile. One more thing I want to discuss here. All the publications of that expert that will be included in their profile. If we talk about, if you may able to observe, in my case, the paper published by myself in 2020, they all are available. Second important question is how we can download the full paper. First of all, what we have learned, how we can search paper, search articles, just fill your titles and scroll the papers accordingly. If you need by recent year, you will fill out the recent year. If you will feel to find like last 5 years, 10 years, accordingly you may search. Now there are two type things are there during the download. Papers published in recent year, for example, 2023 is going on. you are unable to download this because it is access of the journals. You may observe that uh, in the paper of probiotics, three type of mdpa.com linked are there. The articles which have already given PDF, you may directly click on PDF and obtain the paper. Secondly, I have marked a star on the first paper, the role of probiotic in cancer prevention. In that case, you can open this paper as I have seen in this, you may observe in this we can say slide. Open this paper. Now you have two options. First of all, you may copy the title as well as the DOI. Both of them, both of one, you have to click and put into the website that is known as sign up. You may observe the same topic, role of probiotics in cancer, I have selected and place into the sign up. When you will proceed with the open options, so that a particular PDF from that we can say that journal that will be able to obtain in the front of you. So, dear all, this was the basics how we can conduct or start a literature. We have discussed how we can find and how we can download. After completion of our paper, after obtaining the desired PDF, we can make a folder in our system by using the name of that title. Now, the next concept is after a complete survey of literature, now we would like to start a paper writing. For the same, we must have a MS Word. As we all know, MS Word is very highly, we can say that crucial part for the same that is highly required for writing of the paper. So for the same, the software which are, I think so, if you proceed with Google, Google will show you more than 15s of software that will you, if you are a beginners, it will confuse to you definitely. But as per my suggestion, as per my experience, these three are the basic, we can say the software that you must have. Microsoft Word is within the system. You have to identify your title. Grammarly must be there so that if during that writing, during that change of their removal of plagiarism, it might possible that your word might not be suitable as per the grammar instructions. With the help of grammar, it can be removed. Second is the endnote. This reference pattern utilized by endnote that will be good options. So my concern in this case is, for example, by doing a manual reference, it is one of the old time. It is a one of the, we can say that a old idea. By using a software endnote, we can put your reference accordingly. One more benefit of this software is, for example, you are planning for another journals and your paper is rejected by that journal. Now you want to submit your paper within another journal. Now you don't have need to be change reference one by one. Just give a instruction to EndNote which type of style you want for this particular journal, and ultimately you will able to obtain your reference style within 1 minute. Dear all, one more software I have mentioned, that is BioRender. BioRender is freely available also, as well as premium is also available. So if you don't want to go for premium, no issue. BioRender is one of the unique software that helps to prepare diagrams. For example, you want to show any cell line, any beaker, any animal study, all things are available here. You just have to take and summarize in your accordingly as per your requirement. So literature review search, start the paper by their name, by using their particular. One more thing, dear all, I want to state here: the selection of your title that play an important role. For example, if your writing is simply, for example, updates on the nanoparticles simply, so that it might be possible that so many articles have already published on the same content. So topic selection is one of the essential area. It must be in a very, we can say that is very impactful, so that the reviewer or editor in chief that will also have impact on that persons. start paper even before I do the study. This kind of reaction will be there. For example, if you have a not proper or adequate literature survey of the papers and you are trying to start, what will happen? You may write, you may give you 100% for the mentioned writing, but ultimately within week or within 2 weeks, you will be able to obtain a rejection from the journal because you have not critically reviewed all the specs that are required for the journal sections. First is drafting of the introduction. That is one of the important part. For example, someone is doing work on cancer. They have to be draft introduction, which type of cancer they are working on, their types, their prevalence, their morbidity, and the conventional treatment utilized to treat the cancer. And what novelty will be in their content, they also have to be shared. They have to find what type of things that can possible. So before proceeding further, it is one of the kind essential part. Next is draft dummy table, shells and figures exist for the results. Before, after a critical literature survey, you may draft a table and figures which indicates that this kind of research is already published. By using this particular data, it might be published accordingly. Conduct or analysis data. Now it's time to write the first draft. Yes, maybe it might be not. Fill the dummy tables, figures with real data. Now, as I have mentioned, the figures, the barrender that will help us to make the tables. So, dear all, don't try to take any figure from the Google. It will be a copyright claim to you or even your team also. So, for the same, what you can do, what you have in your hands, you can prepare your diagram originally from the barrender that is 100% authenticated. Draft additional tables and figures if needed. Look at the published articles or potential templates. Diagrams play an important role. If you talk about review articles, 2 to 3 diagrams are highly mandatory. Depend upon the research articles in which maximum studies will be there with that have a weightage on the we can mention also. Summarize each table figures in a single sentence. What do you want to say? For example, you have conducted a cancer study on the animal rat and you have conducted the weight variation assay for the rat. So in one table, one line you have to mention, this table will show that weight variation in cancer-induced rats. This kind of setups can be used. Get early frequent feedback. Share your tables, figures and single sentence summarize to co-authors, colleagues, ask their clear, concise explanation. For example, if you have a 4 to 5 members team, what you can do, you have to firstly identify the title of your novel articles, then make a TOC, table of content, basically. Then you may divide your content accordingly within your team member. For example, 5 person are there, they can work accordingly. You may show your data to each other so that any kind of need of corrections that can be made accordingly. Give presentation to the colleagues at works and conferences. Try to formulate a concise key message and get your feedback. Ultimately, as I have mentioned, in case of such articles, your title, your content, that must be readable. They have to be summarized a data. After reviewing that content, the reviewers must clear that what do you want to say that? What things, what are the objective of your studies and what you have achieved that have to be indicate or interlinked with the each other. Listen carefully to what I am saying about to say that is don't wait for a complete draft to begin getting feedback. Sometimes it happens even though our students might also might do mistakes also. They feel that they are writing in a good or adequate manner. They committed their paper and after that they show that. Even though I found some of the major mistake after the completion of their paper. So it's my personal advice to all of you during drafting of, for example, you have drafted one page. You may check with your advisor, you may show your advisor, you may check that content to your colleague, friend who are actively working with your research work so that the quality aspects can be obtained, standards can be obtained accordingly. You may show this image how to friends they may be ready to start within 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Thanks for your detailed and lengthy criticism of my manuscript. I will be sure to incorporate your session with background. Two things are there. Our attitude means a lot. One attitude is what I have said, that is 100% true. Second is, sir, I am trying to do my best. If there is any suggestion, please let me know. I will incorporate in my manuscript. The second one will work everywhere. If you have a first type of attitude, it will not work for a longer time. Definitely, you may have to be difficult in the future also. So the attitude must be there. You may have to learn a lot from your colleagues also. Formulate your key message. Keep it simple. Try to boil down the simple sentence. Your message must contain something new and useful. In case of research, it can just be new and useful also. Make sure your research course for your key message. The message may change up when you develop the paper. One more thing is there. Rejection list is also there. On balance, paper is not sufficiently interesting for journal readers. Message not new enough. Topic is presenting means paper doesn't cover any type of depth. So depend upon your studies, you may plan accordingly. Either what do you want? Your objective must be clear. Maximum studies should be covered so that a reader can get a maximum knowledge from the site. Mission statement to lead the debate on health and to engage, inform, and stimulate doctors, researchers, and that will improve outcome for the patient. As I have discussed one thing during the starting, what is the purpose? Why we need to draft a paper, to publish a paper in a scientific way, so that it will be helpful for the community, helpful for the pharmacists, helpful for the doctors, helpful for the nurses, so that while they can learn from that novel ideas that can be implemented for the social as well as health being concept of the peoples. Choose your journal target. Yes, dear all, it is one of the very important point. I think so. In nowadays, one of the so many fake journals are there which are not having indexing anywhere. If we talk about journals, we will divide into the four categories. One is UGC, that is Indian based level. Second is Scopus, SCI, and SCIE. Before publishing your paper, make sure that it must be at least indexed in four of them. If we talk about international level, the level is SCI and SCIE. Paper must be, I think so, as per my concern, paper might be published 2 to 3 months later, but it must be in a quality concept. Quality concept is indexing the journal who are in the journal you are choosing for publishing paper, that must at least indexed in SCI or SCIE. Choose the journal accordingly, a journal that match your target audience. For example, my work is basically on the cancer, for example. My journal might be something else. Choose your journal accordingly. First preference will be indexing. Second, their objective. Either they are publishing work which I am working on that project. You have to find initially before submitting your paper. So instructions for authors are there in every journals that you have to read carefully what they are requiring, their font size, their font style, the space between these, the dimension of the figures, how much figures can be proceed with the manuscript, minimum tables, and what type of other requirement that you have to be instructed from the journals. So, dear all, these are the one of the basic types to talk about the articles. First, review articles in which you have to be recollect data from various A search paper is formed when you conduct any kind of search. Latitude is when you are expertise in some topics, as I will show in the next slide I have published. Then editorial perspective, by your means, what you understand of that topic that will be covered in editorial perspective. So dear all, I think it's visible to all of you. I have published my paper with essay and development having 2.8 impact with SCA and SIE indexing. You may observe that you have wrote a title. Title is 3D printing has an imperative role in practice management. This was the let to detail. So did all this paper having length only 2 to 3 pages. But thing is, what do you think from that side that is on screen? So dear all, this is my recently published editorial CD44 as the target site for hyaluronic acid in favor of practice management. So this was also a very good impact and the scopus also. So try to find out, try to publish your paper in at least in the international level so that a particular levels can be obtained. So dear all, this was my research article of my PhD. So this is the Journal of Drug Science and Technology. So production houses elsewhere having 5.1 impact factor. So in this case, I have managed the disease also to practice. So dear all, before proceeding for paper, there are some more good points which you have to be considered in your mind. First is author statement. You have to be clear with all type of authors. For example, in my research article, there was only 3 persons. You have to clear that what was the role of that person, who have made the manuscript, who have approved this, who have performed experiments, and who have approved papers. So in case of funding, you have to clear out. If you have obtained any kind of fund from any agency, you may write out. You may have to mention their name to acknowledge them. If you have no fund, you will proceed that we did not have any kind of fund. Then acknowledgement in which institute, in which company, in which firm, in which research institute you're working, you have to acknowledge. It will give a good message. Draft and abstract. What is the target? Now, question is, what is the purpose? Purpose is, for example, to make a better delivery of drug to the colon site, for example. Now, second is, what are the various methods which are utilized and try to identify so that it will be a good or not. The results will have to be interlinked with the purpose. For example, our purpose was to deliver drug at the colon site. Now, our results should verify or we can say interlink with our purpose so that we can say that our formulation have adequate qualities. Now, in the conclusion, we will confirm that yes, our formulation have all the qualities as the basic aspects which are required to meet our purpose. So, dear all, finally, when the journal is found, parliamentary of CPAT, internal review, journal review, comments. So, dear all, I will give a small examples of this whole process publishing. First of all, when you submit your paper will proceed for the editor-in-chief, known as EIC. Editor will check that either the topic is novel or not. If topic is novel, you may got a mail from journal. Yes, dear, for example, dear Dr. Singh, your paper is initially approved. Then they have submitted, they are proceeded with further at least 2 to 3 reviewers. Now, reviewers are those who have a good experience in that field. Reviewers will critically review the paper. If there is something lack, they will give some suggestion known as comments. Then you have to make a comments response and submit again to the journal. Then writing a cover letter. So dear all, cover letter means you will get a kind of request to editor-in-chief regarding submission of paper. In that we will mention that, sir, our title was this. As per your session, we have all changes are incorporated in the revised manuscript. So you have to be submitted. When to conduct the editor, it is the last thing. If the journal is not responding from last 3 months, I think you should have to conduct to the editor. Otherwise, all journals are doing very well. They are working very well. They have a fixed tenure, even though we people may skip their guidelines, but from their side, they all working in a good manner. So submission to final acceptance, at least in case of SCI and scope paper, should take 5 months. Acceptance of publication 10 to 12. Simply, as per my experience, in case of Scopus journals and SCI, 4 to 5 months are there all mandatory. It will take definitely if you're presenting or publishing paper in the Bentham science. So dear all, it's one of my suggestions to all of you. If you need a paper in a very fast rapid time, don't put paper in the Bentham science because they are we can say that they delay the process. It will 5 to 7 months that may be taken by the Bentham journals. So I think so. Most paper that can be accepted by or at a good site or that can be a good, we can say that communication. Elsewhere journal is also there. We can say that Taylor Francis is also there. You may also proceed with Springer and Taylor Francis as Bentham also. So at least try to identify the good journals with having good indexing. Now the secret of success. Secret is so dear all there is no shortcut of any kind of success as we all know as we have listened from this from the very beginning. So in this case also I think so all the parts I have covered in the recent one they all are very crucial. If we proceed with each and in without skipping anyone, your paper will not be rejected at any of cost. At any cost, it's I'm saying from my core of my heart. Because as of my experience, if you we can say give potential to all these aspects, paper will be definitely published and you will be acknowledged by Google also. You may able to find your name on Google when paper will be published. So these are things I have already covered. I may just we can say review it again. Conducted review, start the paper, analyze, organize, frequent and formulate, useful and choose your journal accordingly, and instructions, draft, and all the do all things which are suggested by the journal experts. Because, for example, you are trying to submit paper without these all things, what will happen? 100% rejection will be there, nothing will be else. But thing is, I think so. If you have taken a rejection from 5 to 4 journals, I think something will be lacked from technical point of view or something point from the we can say that from part of your expertise. Do a thing with very carefully, with complete heart, completely mind set up so that things will be at a high level. Yes, dear all, this was all from my side. So thank you all for your valuable time. I think so, covered all type of things. If still you have any query, the house is open. Please ask.
Definitely. Perfect. Thank you so much, Dr. Aman, for such a short presentation, providing all the overview of scientific writing, right from the literature search, doing the content writing, the researching and everything, referencing. Referencing you did not cover, I think, right? But rest everything you have covered. So perfect. Thank you, sir. Participants, we are now open to question and answer. If you have any specific questions, please do ask. The recording of the presentation will be available for you, so don't worry about that. You can watch the recording any number of times and keep learning from there. And normally we do not share the presentation PowerPoint slides. We share the recordings because PowerPoint slides are the presenter's copyrighted content, right? So any questions you have, please do ask. Yes, recording will be available. I'll be also sharing the recording in the WhatsApp group you have, and also you'll be receiving an email if you have registered on Zoom. Okay. All right. So Nilima has a question. Ranjita has a question.
Yes, sir, please.
How to select journal, from where we can select a journal?
Actually, ma'am, as I have already told, basically, if we talk about the journals, Elsevier is there, Springer is also there. Depend upon our sir work better simply. Depend upon our work weightage, our selection of type, the various journals are there.
Yeah. All right. So we can select the journals depending on the work. So the best idea is to do a basic research on the keywords of your work, and it will tell you what are the articles which are published. See the journal where it is published, and then you can locate the journals based on.
Sir, one more thing. For example, any person is working on cancer. They may use keywords on the Google Scholar. You may identify so many published papers on the same topics. The journal is utilized by that same. You can also check your papers at that side. Also, no issue.
Absolutely, yeah. So there is another question from Mr. Hemant Soni. How many references are required for review article?
Actually, for the full review articles, that might be 7 to 100.
70
to 100. Depends
70 to
upon.
100.
Yeah, depends upon. Depends upon. One thing is there. For example, I am actually we can say that referring 50 papers. Second thing is the cross reference. You're only trying to find 20 papers and you have put 100 reference. I think so. Things must be genuine.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Goresh Dhotre, does Sci-Hub allows all journal articles to be freely downloaded? Yes, Goresh, you can download the articles.
Yes, but I have always told one thing in the beginning. The papers are published in this current year. That will be difficult to access.
Yes. And see, the latest articles you may not get. You'll be getting the old articles. That's for sure. And one more suggestion is, Sci-Hub is, created by a very well-known neuroscientist, researcher. She is a lady from Russia. I'm sure you all know her. My suggestion is not to use these articles for any commercial purpose. Use it only for your personal purpose, for your personal research. Do not use it for any type of commercial purpose. Okay. All right. So the next question is from Pallavi. How can we select a topic for review article?
Actually, Pallavi, that is the thing which have a high weightage.
Yeah, most important.
That will be listen. As per my experience, when you read, I think more than 20 papers, review articles, you'll be able to find that these points are the lack in that papers. That will be able to find a new one. Because the things you are discussing that will be already published by somewhere. But you have to frame accordingly how you can provide a maximum data within this specific word. Simply less word or more weightage.
Absolutely. That's a good point,
Yes.
Dr. Aman. And, Pallavi, for your understanding, one of the easiest way to identify topic is find out your interest area. Make a note of your interest area. Put some keywords based on your interest area. That's number one. Read at least 10 articles. And whenever you are reading those articles, naturally you will get a lot of thoughts. And what the best idea is to, whenever you get a thought, make a note of that thought. Make a note of that idea. And those ideas will be the key points from where you can select a topic, right?
Yes.
If you read at least 10 or 15 articles, 100% you'll get a lot of ideas, and finalize one idea that you feel is a unique one and that you feel will add a lot of value to the research. Now, all these journals, they want to publish articles which add value to the existing research. If our work, if our publication, if our writing is not able to add any value to the existing research, then they are not interested to publish, right? So all these ideas that you are getting from these 10 different, 15 different articles, basically we are trying to find a gap, what our work has to be will be filling, right? Once we identify that gap, start working on it and start writing an article on it. Create an outline first, do a literature search, and then start writing. I hope we added some value to it. Hopefully, we were able to answer.
Sir, one more thing, dear all participants, I am also available on LinkedIn on the same name. You may also search to me, Dr. Aman Singh, on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So you may check my recent publications, my recent updates. That will be helpful for you. Because research will also motivate you. You can also do.
Absolutely. What I'll do, I'll request Dr. Aman to share the publications PDF file with me, and I'll send an email to all the participants, the PDF file in one folder, so that all of them can access. And I'll also share the LinkedIn profile link of Dr. Aman. So you can just discuss with him and you can get started writing with your own article, right? And if you need any support or help from him, definitely he's more than happy to
Yes,
help
yes,
you out.
sir. Available totally, no worry.
Yes.
Anybody have
And
any query regarding the literature survey or any publication?
absolutely.
I will be there, no issue.
Yes, and in case you need my help, I'm also there. Okay. All right. So there is another question we'll take from Rutuj. What should we add? What should we have to add in place of institute name when one person is working industry, either past institute name or industry name? Add both the names. If there
Yes,
are
you
two
can
people,
add, no issue, no issue.
absolutely. If there are two people who are part of the research, if one is in the institute, one is in the industry, add both the names. That will definitely add a lot of value to you.
As I already mentioned, you must have to acknowledge your institute as well as your
Absolutely.
firm, so
Yeah.
that it will also give weightage to the system also.
Yes.
Yes.
Please never forget the institution which has provided the facilities, the samples, the resources to you. Whatever
Because,
institute,
yes.
whatever institute has provided these facilities, resources, and samples to you, please acknowledge them. When we acknowledge them, we add value to the research. When we add value to the research, we create a healthy research. Okay. All right. Next question is, what is the difference between literature search and research article? This question is from Vasu. Dr. Aman.
Actually, the literature itself will tell us the all type of things which are going on that topic. For example, the recent research article published, the review article published. Literature means you have to identify what type of things I have done with that quality or with that polymer. In case of review, you'll be able to find how many papers have published in recent years. In research, you'll be able to find which quality have been taken by the expert team and how things are going on accordingly.
Absolutely. So what Dr. Aman meant was there are different type of literature which get published. There is letter to editors, there is original research articles, there are systematic reviews, there are mini reviews, there are review articles, there are original research papers. There are so many types, right? So these are called as literature, and research article is basically when somebody is doing an experiment and creating an article based on what he or she observed in the experiment. Okay.
Exactly.
All right, perfect. So thank you, Dr. Aman, and thank you, Vasu, for asking that. Next question I will take from Gauresh again. Any other site like Google Scholar where we can search article with ease? Dr. Aman?
That is PubMed. PUB, I will drop the message.
PubMed, he has already shown. I have also mentioned in the chat box. You can see that PubMed is good for mostly medical related articles. Okay. If you're searching for medical scholarly articles, PubMed is the best site. There are almost about 30 plus sites from where you can do research. Please have a look at one of the past webinars or webinar recordings.
Actually, sir, I have already told, sir, softwares are so many. But, sir, I think if we want to start, we may start from this one, no issue, sir.
Absolutely.
But there are so many things. Actually, I have seen when you have it, too much options, you can't do nothing. When you have one option, you may do more.
Absolutely.
I think so, sir. It will confuse to all of you. Simply go with Google Scholar or PubMed. No need to go.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
that is more sufficient. I think.
I totally agree with you, Dr. Aman, on this point. And this is one of the major problems that happen with the students. Even I face the similar problems. I knew so many research-based places where we can do research. And when we go to all these places, we are overloaded with information. And the moment we get overloaded, we keep postponing things for the next day because there is no way we can get a perfect search, right?
Sir, even though I have a question to, I have already asked this question to so many people. For example, someone have been sharing 50 named software used for survey. I asked them, have you tried to find out any of them with the help of Google? They're saying, no, sir, I'm just posting this one. So this kind of things are happening, sir. Even though from out of 50 minutes, you are trying to use at least one with the proper utilization, it will be a more graceful for us.
Absolutely. That's a good point. Yes. Jiten has a question. Some reviewers provide their own publication to cite them, but the matter is that the provided publication is not related to my review articles. What will I do? Dr. Aman.
Dear, in this Indian question, for example, I'm also reviewer of many good journals. I have on kind of daily basis, I have reviews on papers. But as per my personal opinion, this is not a good idea. This is the only greed of any scientist
Yes,
just to improve the citation. This is not a
absolutely.
right way. For
Yeah,
example, if Noisar is working on the brain and I am expert in the colon part, so I am requesting or I am recommending to Noisar just to cite my paper. It's not a kind of part. Part is what sir has did. I have to check it critically. If there is
absolutely.
some kind of lag, I may ask from the raw data. I may ask for their raw diagram. This can be feasible. But asking them to cite their paper in their manuscript, I think it's not a good thing.
It is unethical. It is
Yeah.
definitely not a good practice to do it. All these type of reviewers are trying to do is to increase their citation and increase their ranking.
Sir,
This
one more
is,
thing.
yes,
As
sir.
per Mike, sir, it also indicates that the scientists have no idea of that research. They are
Absolutely.
just only one query, just cite my paper. I will accept the paper.
Absolutely. They just want to put their name on the top,
Yes, yes,
rank their name on the top without adding any value to the research. Remember, the
yes.
objective of scientific writing itself is to add value to the existing research.
Definitely.
And by
This is
citing
our
wrong
objective.
paper,
Yes, sir.
by
Yes, sir.
citing wrong paper, we are not adding any value. We are simply confusing the reader, right? Imagine a reader going and reading that back reference from our article and he doesn't find any value from that research. He'll simply not be interested to read our own paper, right? So never ever do cross-referencing if the reference is not adding any value to the current research. Okay, perfect. So thank you so much everyone for asking those questions, and thank you, Dr. Aman, for this wonderful presentation. Any other questions if you have, participants, please do ask. You can put in the chat box, or you can also raise your hand. You can talk directly. I'll unmute and you can talk to Dr. Aman. And one word, please mention in the chat box, one word. How did you feel this presentation about? What was it useful? Did it add any value to your current knowledge about
So,
scientific?
dear, I have mentioned my LinkedIn ID in the chat box. Dr. Aman Singh, PhD. You can follow me on that ID. So, I would like thanks to all the participants and special thanks to our one of the very, very respected dynamic professor for
Thank you,
their
sir.
kind cooperation for all times. Sir, I have already delivered lectures in our college. So it feels like a home when we talk with the sir.
Perfect. Thank you, Dr. Aman. And next week, please do join me. I'll be taking a session on the importance of LinkedIn for pharmacy professionals. We'll be working on how LinkedIn can be useful for us. So if you're interested in that, please do join me next week, same time, 2 to 3:30. And after that, we'll switch over gears to medical writing. So next week will be all about medical writing, and we'll be learning about how to get started in medical writing, how you can learn medical writing. If
Sir,
you're a fresher,
yes, sir,
how to get
definitely,
started in
definitely,
medical writing. Okay.
definitely, definitely.
All right.
Okay,
Perfect.
sir. Thanks a lot. Thank you,
Thank you
lot,
so
sir.
much,
Sir,
Dr.
have a good day.
Aman.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Aman.
Thank
I'll
you
send
all, dear participants. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Aman. Thank you. All right. So participants, thank you so much for your time. I'm closing the live.